Hey guys, once again, thank you for your support. So I want to go ahead and show you a mini scheme. It's going to be actually a mega scheme featuring this tight Y off flex. We're going to look at the bunch X nasty, and then some other formations we'll take a peek at are going to be the doubles halfback weak and the doubles normal Y off close. But I want to kind of show you how this can build off of it, build off into a mega scheme that can make you very effective and hard to stop. Now we're going to take a look at this formation, which is going to be the Y off trips. Audibles are going to be the following. It's going to be the shallow cross, the 0-1 trap, the under Z curl, and then the counter wide. Now out of the huddle, we want to do our base play, which is going to be the wide zone. And the reason we do the wide zone is so we can attack our opponent with a run off to the right, and then we can build everything off of this scheme. Now I'm going to run against random nickel defenses and just kind of go from there. And I'm going to back this up. So I'm going to respot the ball, back it up just so we could see first down marker fairly clearly with the top of the logo of the Bears icon right here, and then kind of go from there. Now, first and foremost, I want to establish the run against my opponent. I want to go ahead and motion this guy off to get myself an extra blocker off to the far side and try to cut out to the outside. Now, this is the best if you're running against someone who's got a single high safety. If he's got a double high safety, there's a possibility that outside defender is going to be on a run fit, and it makes it a little bit more difficult for your blockers to get out there. But it's important to have this particular run for this scheme, because I want my opponent to be concerned about this particular run, because you can actually go ahead and do the running off the left. Now, if the center is not covered, and let's see if that happens. If the center is not covered, basically we're going to run into the 0-1 trap. But if he is covered and you want to try to go to the backside, you can use this Y counter play. We want to show once again the auto motion, and then we can quickly snap it to really get a lot of blocking going that direction. These guys are just jumping into the holes real quick, or we can actually go ahead and snap the ball after the wide receiver gets past the end. Now, this is where the center is unblocked. He doesn't have a guy over him, so what we'll do is we'll just motion this guy over, quickly snap the ball, and you can see how those blockers really get up to the next level. And if one of the guys held his one block against that linebacker, that could have been a big chunk of yards. So let's just go ahead and snap it. Watch the blocking go up, and you can see how I can cut that back to pick up some pretty easy yards if your opponent gets scooped up in the blocking of that. Now, if it's covered up, you can do the Y counter. Once again, motion this guy, snap it, and now you've got basically blocking going off the backside. I tried to do a flipped version of this, but unfortunately it didn't really work out that well as far as the blocking is concerned. But here we go. We don't have anybody pretty much covered up right there, so we're able to pick up some pretty good yards. So the right side of the offensive line for the Chicago Bears is really not the best run blocking part of the line. But let's just go and take a look at this play. Now, if I'm going to run a pass play, I want to run this stock. I just find that the underneath route will give us an easy check down. So we're going to go ahead and snap that ball. And if I get one-on-one on the back side, I'll throw that basically corner stop route if I snap it really quick. So you got the guy's outside leverage, and you could see how he actually gets in a unique little spot right there where you're picking up a good 15 yards off of that play. So that's what's cool about that particular play right there. And you've also got the stop routes underneath. So if guys don't carry, just go and hit this route, and you can see everybody else actually picks it up real quick. So if there's matching concepts, that route underneath is going to be set up right there. You've got the inside hitch that you can use against your opponent. So if he's usering and trying to chase that one route, you can use this route over the top. This is a route this is a play I'm going to use if I want to show my opponent run once again. And all I'm going to do is go ahead and motion this guy out. And no defender. If defender follows, I know that I've got basically one-on-one on the back side. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that ball right there. And I did an outside pass lead. That's why he actually had to go dive for that ball. In that type of situation. Now, if the defender doesn't move, that means I'm going to make all my progressions off on the other side of the field. I have a streak with the tight end. I've got that curl route. If nobody plays this out, I'm going to throw that. Defender actually put his paw up and knock the ball down. So not something we're normally going to go ahead and spec happen. But this is about working that running game and then showing our opponent the same type of a look on a regular basis. So once again, we got the one-on-one. Even if you got a guy that actually plays the corner route, you've also got that route right here that you can hit against your opponent for an easy completion. So this is a good way to go ahead and open this particular formation up, and then we're going to jump into some additional audibles. So the other formation we're going to take a look at is going to be the Bunch X Nasty. Not a formation I ran a lot in the past. It's got a really cool play right here with the motion X whip. It's got a levels concept in a corner, and then what I like to do is do a return route. But what's really cool about this particular play is this play action counter halfback weak. It does stretch your opponent vertically, and it does give you an opportunity for a huge play over the middle of the field where you can pick up 30 or 40 yards. The other play we'll take a look at is going to be this play action X cross, deep comeback route that's actually inside the numbers, and inside the numbers actually gets a really good separation, and it's got a little hitch route that we're going to go and balance out. And then the other audible I have is the wide zone. So once again, we're going to build this from the tight Y off flex. I'm going to call that play, and I'm going to go ahead and run this against random nickel defenses. So the first play we're going to take a look at is going to be the wide zone. If you get one-on-one, you like the leverage, you can go to the wide zone to the outside and try to curve that up as a quick snap. Conversely about the wide zone is that you can actually go ahead and flip it to the other side, so the strong side of the formation. That means you're going to get a couple extra blockers. It might be a little bit better leverage, and be able to get to the outside against your opponent. So something I'm probably not going to jump into much. There's not a dive in this play without an auto motion, and I don't want to have any kind of auto motion on this. I like to go ahead and take Bird and put him on a return, and then what I like to do is take this route and at least do one up, maybe two, to try to get past the levels concept. Now the first place I'm going to go is commit underneath. I want to go ahead and see if I can hit that underneath route. That forces my opponent to play in the box, makes it a little bit harder for them, makes it a little bit harder for him to basically get underneath, and he has to defend that over the top route. The whip route on the backside is going to be something we're going to wait for. That turned into man coverage. I didn't read a little bit. Let's go jump into this again. Set this up. All right, so you could see how he's going to get a little bit better separation like that. I did do a post on that particular play, so that is an option. The only problem with a post is that it does get kind of scooped up. Now the return route is going to be another route that you can actually use against any kind of heavy pressure and stuff like that, but it's really about working those routes on the backside right there. So let's go ahead and see. Another thing I did too is I'll do basically a curl route like so, and if I get one-on-one, I can hit the curl and get an opportunity to go to get a nice little completion right there. So this Titans defense is playing lights out against me. Now here's the play that really caught my attention. It's got a lot of potential, but also takes a long time to develop. And I've noticed that Williams, as a quarterback in the game, doesn't have the best deep ball accuracy. Seems like he sprays it once we get about 30 or 40 yards out. So I like to streak up more. The reason I streak up more is that it clears out the over the top zone, and it's going to open up the wide receiver off the left hand side. Now this does have a play action animation, but you can see how you can get a huge play over the top to coverage with that double move route stemmed up. So I'm going to show this to you in instant replay just so you can kind of see it. I use this as a clear out more than anything else. I want to go ahead and clear out my stuff. I probably should be looking to the corner right away. So the corner route is probably the best thing. If I get leverage, I'm going to go ahead and throw that. Then you're going to get big yards, but then you can make a progression back to this route right here to see if he gets over the top of the coverage. So let's just go back to that again. You have to make sure you wait for the streak until the guy gets to the other side of the line. We're going to watch Burden first. And here is a missed thrown ball. So that's the problem I'm having with Williams, is that his accuracy is not there with these deep balls. We're going to watch Burden to see if we get the leverage right there. If not, here you go. Big play right there, opportunity. Sometimes that running back wheel route will release and get free, especially if you see guys floating up. So I don't want to run that play a lot. I want to go ahead and I'd rather use a play like this where it's going to basically give me an opportunity to get a little crossing route, attack my opponent out to the outside. Once again, we're going to watch Burden. Got this little hitch route that I can drop it down, pick up some pretty easy yards. But what's cool about this play, which is going to be this play action X out cross, I do the corner route because that actually gets a separation where Komet's route is available. If I got isolated coverage on the back side, this deep comeback route gets in a very unique position against the coverage. So what's cool about this is that you got two inside routes that are kind of forcing your opponent. See how you actually had to come back to that. I actually could throw that a little bit away from the defender. I like this because this is going to push that ball to the other area. So that's what I like about this. You got ways to attack your opponent, you know, inside, outside. Here's your inside whip, which has got basically nobody in the area because that flat pulls everybody down. It's just a really, really good play to go and jump into. So I really like this. Let's jump into the next formation. Now the other formation we'll take a look at is going to be this doubles halfback week, and basically I put some staple plays that I've used over the years in my scheme. You have sail dig, which has got you know, a whip in a dig route. You've got a sail concept off to the left. Inside zone is just a staple run. The Salem Y corner, we can run this play stock, or we can actually go ahead and make adjustments to it. And then the shake halfback corner, which has got, you can attack your opponent with deep posts. You've got a nice little crossing concept, a little shake concept too. Now once again, we're going to go ahead and audible into this from this particular formation, which is going to be the tight wide off, and the play I like to call this the wide zone. I'm going to go ahead and run this against random defenses. So first and foremost, just do the standard inside zone. Inside zone, you know that the edge defender essentially is going to get in. You're going to have a run upside. You're going to be looking for the center guard kind of combo. With the inside zone. This is probably a good play to go and jump into. If you want to go ahead and make it a little bit better, you can motion this guy, especially if he's not providing any kind of matching principles where the guy will actually carry with the wide receiver. So there's inside zone. Sail is a play that I probably jump into when I've got a single high safety type situation. And the reason why is that I want to try to throw that route right there. That route really gets great separation from slot defender. You've also got the whip and the dig. Now, one thing I do want to let you know, if you have time, take the dig up one extra notch. And the reason why is that you can have defenders that can play this whip route and then actually go ahead and fall back into your passing lane for the dig route. And if you let the dig route basically take a little bit longer to get across, you can basically pick up some monster yards. So we've got the whip, and you can see how that dig was available if I did have enough time to actually throw that. So let's go ahead and jump into that one more time. Just one notch up, that's all you got to do. And here's the outside. So let me just show you what I'm looking at, the reason why I just decided to go back to the back side. I'm watching this defender to see what he's doing. He actually kind of falls back, and then both of these guys, and this guy came out of nowhere, just started falling back into his zone, into a passing lane. So I decided I was going to be throwing this. I just didn't like the leverage. I looked up at this route. This guy kind of fell into my passing lane. So then I can make a progression to the back side, and that means because this guy is not supporting this side of the field, he's supporting the weak side of the field. I can throw this route knowing that I've got a one-on-one against my opponent. So that's what I like about that particular read. So we're going to go ahead and put this guy up one more notch. I got a press look off to the left, and that was actually inverts. And what froze me, but actually could have been a touchdown, was this guy. He actually came out. I thought he was going to be coming down. He actually let this guy go, and I was trying to release this ball I was trying to get rid of the ball. You could see I've already saw it. and I started releasing. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have this route off the sideline available, but the defensive end got to me. So that's what I was looking at. All right, once again, probably better to run this against closed. Let's see if this guy gets under. No, he did get underneath it. I had to get rid of the ball because I was waiting for the dig route to actually get underneath the coverage, and the other guy was right in there. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, we're going to look at commit right away. Here you go. Yep. Okay. So I download pass lead, and now my quarterback is just spraying it. So this is kind of frustrating right now that I'm not getting the passing lanes that I want. Here we go. All right, so the CPU is just playing games with me right now. They're block shedding my line. They're basically getting in here, and I want to try to get this. Okay, here's your whip. Come on, dudes. All right, so I'm going to move on to this play because it's just not, it doesn't seem matter what I do right now, it's not going to work correctly. So here's what I like to do with this gear play. I like to streak up my slot receiver and then do a deep comeback route. This is a concept that I've used for a long time. I like the deep comeback route. You can do the dagger concept instead, where you can actually go ahead and jump into this and go with a dagger concept where you're essentially going to streak up the guy. You've got the flat route underneath, and this is another way to attack your opponent over the middle of the ball, over the field, so you can see the ball was in his hands. It just didn't come down with it. Let's go ahead and jump into that play once more time. If you got basically, you know, 3-high shell, you can always go ahead and attack your opponent with basically a C route with a streak. But the deep comeback route is another way to attack your opponent with this. So you got that set up like so. And I like the deep comeback route. It's a little bit more consistent, and the corner can't typically play that. So that's why I do like a deep comeback route. You also got a sail concept on the back side. If you wanted to go ahead and layer that in, you could do basically a drag route opposed to that. And that corner route came out of the back side. It basically forced me to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. I was trying to wait for that corner to come across. It just takes a little bit longer. So I say, you know, for the most part, if you wanted to do underneath routes, this is a better play right here, the halfback shake. And then we're going to go ahead and drag up more because the reason why is that it allows me to go ahead and attack the little drag route on the backside. You can leave the shake route if you want to, but I want to be able to have a progression a little bit quicker. But the good thing about the shake route is he's got a little bit more depth. But what's cool about that shake route is that the post underneath the shake route is going to be open if the middle defenders, the safeties and all that kind of stuff play that. Now if I get the flat, I'll go ahead and tack that, but you can see how this route gets opened up by that shake route. So that's what's cool about that. And you've also got, if you got a guy that's running a lot of man coverage, you've got the corner route by the running back. So let's see if the running back gets released. You can see, you can hit that. All right, so I just kind of forced that in there, but you can see how that actually will open up. I'm going to get in a lab just against specific defenses to kind of get my reads down a little bit better. You can see right here that was inside pressure. I just kind of threw that ball off real quick because of the pressure, and my offensive line is choosing not to block for me. I do like doing a drag opposed to keeping the shake, and the one reason I like to do that is it kind of gives me a faster read. Defenders actually came down. I like that. So jumping into this formation and kind of showing you some of the lab work I'm doing. Right now I'm having instances where this defense is playing a lot better than it should be, and I'm getting a lot of block sheds at the offensive line, and it's just having challenges with that. But I'll go ahead and refine this scheme for you. I'm going to lab it, basically play now, then get online and kind of show you how the scheme works. But this is another way to go ahead and attack your opponent with this stuff, with non-meta stuff, and being a mega scheme. So once again, thank you for your support. Until next time.